We're diving into the unbelievable world of the 1977 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this one that imagine finding a penny in your couch cushions, only to realize it's worth $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, 7 million. And no, I'm not messing with you. This is real. Stick around because by the end of this video you might just start digging through your change jar or heck, your couch cushions. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break this down. What makes the 1977 no-mint mark penny so special? First off, it's got no mint mark. What's a mint mark? That little letter you see on most coins, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1977 penny, in this rare case, was struck without a mint mark, and that's what gives it the edge. The reason behind this is simple. Well, simple for the nerdy coin collectors. Some pennies were struck in such a way that they ended up without the mint mark, and these rare ones, they're like finding a needle in a haystack. But here's the kicker. It's not just any old penny. The 1977 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those coins that slipped through the cracks of regular circulation, making it super rare and super valuable today. We're talking a market value of about $7 million. No joke. That's more than most of us will ever see in our lifetime. Unless, of course, you find one of these pennies. Then you're pretty much set for life. Now, let's take a little stroll down memory lane. I remember a few years ago, I found a coin in my pocket that I thought was just your average penny. Nothing special. I didn't even give it a second glance. I tossed it into my change jar and totally forgot about it. Fast forward a couple of months. I'm scrolling through a coin forum, and I see someone mention the 1977 no-mint mark penny. I almost fell out of my chair. Could it be? I rushed to my change jar, and as I sifted through the pennies, I realized, yeah, no luck. It wasn't that one. But hey, at least I've learned to pay more attention now. Moral of the story? Always check your change because you never know. So, how do you know if your 1977 penny is worth millions? First things first, get it checked. The best way to know if your coin is worth big bucks is to have it graded by a professional. You want to make sure you've got one in mint condition, no pun intended, because the better the condition, the higher the value. And by the way, don't just rely on eBay prices or online guides. Some of those can be way off. You need a real expert to give you the lowdown. Now, let's talk about how rare these pennies are. They were made by mistake, so you won't see them floating around in your typical change jar. They didn't hit the circulation in big numbers, and even if they did, not many were saved by collectors. So, if you find one, treasure it like it's your pet cat. You've got something special there. So, what do you do if you find one? First, resist the urge to flip it for a quick buck. It's tempting, but the real money comes when you hold onto it long enough for the market to catch up. If it's in pristine condition, you're looking at a future bidding war with collectors fighting over it. No pressure, right? So, there you have it. The 1977 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A little piece of history that could be sitting in your pocket worth a small fortune. Remember, you've got to look carefully at your change. Don't just toss pennies aside. It could mean the difference between your morning coffee and a seven-figure payday. Before I let you go, I want to remind you, if you found this info helpful, you're not going to want to miss what we have coming next. There are more coins out there just waiting to make you rich, and I'll be here showing you exactly what to look for. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasure in your spare change. You'll thank me later when you find your own million-dollar coin. We're talking about one particular penny, the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That's worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. That's right, $8 million. I know, you're probably thinking, is he pulling my leg? But trust me, this penny is not your average 1-cent piece. It's one of those rare finds that's so valuable you might want to check your couch cushions. But don't rush off just yet. Stick around to learn why this little guy is worth millions and how you can find coins that could potentially change your life. So let's dive into the world of rare coins. So, first things first, what makes this 1978 penny so special? Normally, the US Mint produces pennies in two main varieties. One with the D mint mark, for Denver, and one without a mint mark, which indicates it's from Philadelphia. But here's the twist. In 1978, A handful of pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark at all, and that mistake, my friends, made all the difference. Now, let me break it down for you. The 1978 no mint mark penny wasn't supposed to exist. All pennies from that year were supposed to have a mint mark, but a few were produced at the Philadelphia Mint without it. Coin collectors call this a mint error. And let me tell you, the rarer the error, the more it's worth. And if you happen to have one of these bad boys, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Imagine this. I was at a garage sale a couple of months ago, my usual weekend hobby, sifting through dusty old boxes of random stuff. I picked up a little pile of old pennies and thought, maybe I'll get lucky today. Turns out, I didn't find a 1978 penny, because of course my luck didn't stretch that far. But I did find a few interesting coins that were worth a bit more than I thought. If I'd found a 1978 no mint mark penny though, I'd probably be calling you from my private yacht by now. Now, let's talk about the real kicker here, the market value of these coins. While most 1978 pennies are worth, well, a 1978 no mint mark penny in mint condition can fetch up to a whopping $8 million. That's right. We're talking about millions for a single penny. It's enough to make you want to start inspecting your change jar more closely, right? The reason it's worth so much is because it's super rare. The odds of finding one are like winning the lottery, but it's a lottery where you don't have to buy a ticket. These errors happen when the minting process goes wrong, and just a handful of them escaped into circulation. So, they're rarer than a unicorn wearing sunglasses. You're probably thinking, okay, I'm going to start sifting through all my pennies, but how do I even know if I've got one of these hidden treasures? Good question. The first thing you want to do is check the mint mark. If your 1978 penny has no mint mark, you're already halfway there. Then check for wear and tear. The more pristine it is, the more it could be worth. And yes, a little bit of dirt or tarnish won't necessarily hurt the value, but keep it in good shape. Now, I'm not saying to go digging through every penny you come across, but hey, it might be worth checking those old jars in the attic. Or better yet, next time you're at a garage sale or an estate sale, take a look at those pennies in the bowl. Who knows? You could find one of these $8 million gems without even trying. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, let's wrap this up. The 1978 no mint mark penny is one of those rare finds that'll make you reconsider every penny you've ever tossed into your coin jar. While it's unlikely that you'll come across one, the value of a mint error coin can be mind-blowing, and it's worth keeping an eye out. So, if you want to keep learning about rare coins, tips, and tricks to spot the ones worth big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips and coin facts coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Remember, your next $8 million penny could be hiding right in front of you. We're diving into why the 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is the penny that could make you an instant millionaire. And hey, if you're a fan of finding cash in your change jar, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more coin tips and tricks. All right, let's break it down. The 1982 penny, as you may know, was part of the U.S. Mint's regular production. The Mint decided to switch things up that year by changing the composition of the penny. Before that, pennies were mostly copper. In 1982, they started making them out of zinc with a copper coating, so yes, the famous copper penny was on its way out. The real gem we're talking about is the no mint mark version. Most of the pennies from that year have either a D mint mark from Denver or an S mint mark from San Francisco. But the 1982 no mint mark penny, produced in Philadelphia, was a bit of an oddball. It's so rare, in fact, that it's become a holy grail for collectors. So, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, it's the fact that there are very few of these coins in circulation. Some experts believe that it was a mistake during the minting process. In fact, it's speculated that there were only a few hundred of these no mint mark 1982 pennies made, and that makes it a super rare find. Imagine if you were one of the lucky ones to pull one out of your coin jar. Heck, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Now, I know you're probably wondering how you can tell if your penny is one of these rare gems. Here's a little tip. You're going to want to check the date and the mint mark. The no mint mark 1982 penny is a little trickier to spot because the lack of a mint mark is subtle. And if you're new to coin collecting, don't worry. I've been there. I remember digging through my own coin jar, thinking I had a rare find when, in reality, I was just staring at a regular 1982 penny, and not the good kind. It's like thinking you found a $100 bill in your wallet, but it's just a crumpled $1 bill. Big bummer. But if you do happen to find this elusive coin, you're in luck. The current market value for a well-preserved 1982 no-mint mark penny is a whopping $2 million. That's right, $2 million. Of course, the condition of the penny matters a lot. The better the condition, the higher the value, just like with anything in life. I mean, you wouldn't expect a vintage toy to be worth much if it was missing half its pieces, right? Collectors are on the lookout for pennies in mint condition, meaning they have minimal wear, no scratches, and ideally are uncirculated. And don't forget, the coin has to be a true 1982 no-mint mark penny. No tricks here, folks. So, if you happen to have one, get it checked by a professional. Now, I know most of us won't find a $2 million penny in our daily coin hunts, but hey, you've got to be in it to win it, right? And this whole experience got me thinking. I once found a pretty beat-up 1967 penny in my change, and at the time, I thought it was worth maybe $1 or $2. Turns out, it's still just a regular penny. But I still have it because, hey, you never know. And I'm not giving up hope on my next big find. You shouldn't either. So, if you've got a pile of pennies lying around, or if you're out thrifting, garage sailing, or just strolling through the store, always keep an eye out for rare coins like the 1982 no-mint mark penny. Who knows? You could be the next lucky person to strike it rich with a random coin. And don't forget, guys, I've got more tips and tricks coming your way on how to spot valuable coins. So, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this with your friends, because you never know, they might find the next big coin too. We're talking about the 1983 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Sounds like something your grandma would hand you while telling you to hold on to that one. It could be worth something someday. Right? Well, it's worth a lot more than just someday. How much, you ask? Buckle up, because this penny is currently valued at an insane $3 million. Yep, you heard me. $3 million. Music fades out. But how did this penny go from just a common copper coin to a gold mine in your pocket? Stick around, and I'll break it down for you. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on these tips because who knows, you might just have one of these hiding in your piggy bank. So, let's talk about how we ended up with a penny worth $3 million. Back in 1983, the US Mint decided to switch up the penny. They started making them with copper-plated zinc instead of the all-copper design. It was a cost-saving measure, which is hilarious because this whole debacle turned into one of the most expensive pennies in history. Now, let's get to the crux of the mystery, the 1983 no-mint mark penny. In case you're wondering, the mint mark is usually where you'd find a little letter, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, indicating where it was made. But in 1983, some pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark at all. And, surprise, surprise, these no-mint mark pennies are the ones that have collectors screaming, "Take my money." The 1983 no-mint mark penny wasn't supposed to exist. So it's rare. And with rarity comes demand. These pennies are like the unicorns of the coin world. And the more rare something is, the more valuable it becomes. Think of it like this: if every penny in your jar were a 1983 no-mint mark penny, you'd probably need a second jar to hold all the cash you'd get for them. But finding one of these little guys in circulation is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's why the price is sky high. To give you some perspective, a regular 1983 penny might fetch you a couple of cents or maybe $1 if you're lucky. But one of these elusive no-mint mark pennies could bring you around $3 million if it's in mint condition, and if it's graded correctly by a professional. And let me tell you, these things are harder to find than a needle in a haystack made of needles. Pause for humor. Okay. So I once found a penny on the ground, and I thought to myself, hey, free money. But as I picked it up, I quickly realized it was one of those 1982 pennies with the weird mix of copper and zinc, which, by the way, isn't worth a dime, pun intended. Still, I put it in my pocket because, hey, a penny's a penny, right? But I've learned that if I had found a 1983 no-mint mark, I'd probably be sitting on my yacht right now sipping on something fancy. Let's talk about how you can figure out if you've got one of these rare pennies. First off, check the mint mark. Look closely. No mint mark means you're halfway to a fortune. Then, make sure your penny is in good shape. If it's been through the washing machine or had a few rounds with your dog, the value's gonna drop. Condition is everything in coin collecting. So, grab a magnifying glass and don't just look at the mint mark. Check for any weird wear and tear. A clean penny is a happy penny, and by happy, I mean expensive. So now that you know what makes the 1983 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth millions, go ahead and check through your change jar, your pockets, or even your couch cushions. You never know where a $3 million penny could be hiding. Before you go running to your piggy bank, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get more tips, tricks, and coin strategies that'll turn your pocket change into gold. And hey, if you find one of these rare pennies, make sure you send me a picture. I'll be here, eagerly waiting to see who's got the lucky penny. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, keep on collecting those treasures. You might just be sitting on the next big find. We're diving into one of the most mind-blowing coins you might have tucked away in your pocket, the 1985 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, it's worth way more than that stray penny you found at the bottom of your purse. But what's the catch? How could this tiny coin be worth $5 million? Yup, you heard me right. $5 million. Stick around, and I'll break down the incredible value of this penny, what makes it so special, and whether you might have one stashed away in your collection without even knowing it. Now, you're probably wondering why on earth would a 1985 penny be worth that much? It's not like it's gold-plated or dipped in some rare material, right? Well, the answer is a bit more complicated, and it all starts with a mix-up at the mint. You see, the 1985 D-Mint mark penny is valuable not because of its shiny copper appearance, but because a small batch of them was produced without the mint mark. Yup, a rare mistake made by the US Mint where some pennies went out without that little D to show they were struck in Denver. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I've got a ton of pennies, but none of them are missing the mint mark, don't worry. These coins are pretty rare, so it's not something you're likely to find just by chance. But here's the fun part. Because of this error, there are only a few known examples that have made their way into collectors' hands, and one recently sold for a whopping $5 million at auction. No kidding. And here's where I've got to tell you about my own penny find story. A couple of years ago, I was sitting on the couch, just going through my usual, let's find something worth more than a nickel penny jar. I'd been collecting pennies for years, hoping to find a hidden gem. And lo and behold, I thought I found something special, but it turned out to be a regular 1980-something penny that had seen better days. Still, I held on to it, thinking, maybe one day I'll discover my own $5 million coin. Well, that day never came, but that didn't stop me from getting excited about the possibility. The point is, you never know when a coin like this could turn up in your collection, and that's what keeps this hobby so thrilling. So, if you're looking to find your very own 1985 D-Mint mark era penny, here's what you need to do. Inspect your coins, go through your collection or jar of pennies and check the 1985 pennies, specifically those minted in Denver. Look for that mint mark. If it's missing, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Condition is key. The value of these rare pennies depends a lot on their condition. A mint condition penny can fetch quite a high price, but a worn-down one, not so much. So, treat your pennies with care. No pocket change scrubbing, authentication. If you think you've found one of these rare pennies, make sure to have it authenticated by a professional. It's better to be safe than sorry when dealing with such valuable finds. Watch the market. Just like any collectible, the value of these rare pennies can fluctuate depending on the market and demand. Keep an eye on auction sites and coin dealers to get a sense of what they're currently worth. And hey, if you happen to find one, you might want to call up your local coin dealer ASAP, because a $5 million price tag isn't something you see every day. Alright, fellow treasure hunters, before we wrap this up, let's recap. The 1985 D-Mint mark penny is an extremely rare coin with an error that makes it worth a crazy amount of money. It's not just your average penny, it's the penny that could turn your coin collection into a small fortune. If you're lucky enough to have one so, next time you're digging through your change, don't just toss that 1985 penny aside. You could be holding on to a piece of history and a hefty payday. Before you head off to check your pennies, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a coin worth money tip. I'm here to share all the secrets on how you can find those hidden treasures and avoid the rookie mistakes that could cost you big. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting! We're diving deep into a coin that's worth way more than your lunch money. The 1987 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right. This little copper disc could be worth $7 million. No, I'm not kidding. We're talking about a penny that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you start running to your piggy bank, let me break it down for you. The 1987 D penny is one of those rare coins that collectors dream about. And no, it's not because someone spilled coffee on it or it got stuck in a vending machine. This penny has a very specific set of circumstances that makes it valuable. And believe me, it's not just about the mint mark. So what makes this penny worth so much? Let me tell you. First off, the basics. A regular 1987 D penny is, well, just a penny with the D mint mark signifying it was made in Denver. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a certain variety of the 1987 D penny that's been discovered to have a unique error. The coin features a double die obverse. Basically, the details on the front of the penny are doubled, making it look like Abraham Lincoln is seeing double. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these coins in your change, you might be holding on to a small fortune. But wait, there's more. These double die pennies are extremely rare, and the 1987 D variety has been known to fetch anywhere between a few $100s to a whopping $7 million. You might be thinking, where do I find one of these? Well, it's all about the luck of the draw. Some collectors stumble across them in their change, while others spend years hunting for that elusive, high-value penny. But, trust me, it's worth checking through your pocket change when you get a chance. Here's where I tell you about my personal experience. A while back, I was doing some coin hunting with my friend at a local flea market. We were digging through boxes of pennies like a couple of coin nerds when I pulled out this super shiny 1987 D penny. I thought, maybe it's just another penny. But I did a quick check, and boom! I found the double die. It wasn't worth millions, but it was enough to make me feel like I had found treasure. Now, I'm not saying you should rush to the nearest market and dive into every penny jar you see. But the moral of the story is you never know what's hiding in your spare change. And sometimes, it's worth the search. So how do you tell if your 1987 D penny is valuable? Look for the double die. The letters and numbers on the front of the penny, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, should have a blurry, doubled appearance. This is the key giveaway. Like most rare coins, the condition matters. If your penny is worn out, it won't bring in the big bucks. Coins with sharp details and minimal wear are the ones that collectors are after. To get top dollar for your penny, it's important to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. A coin in top condition graded high will fetch the biggest price. But remember, these pennies are rare, like finding a needle in a haystack rare. So, while the $7 million figure might be a long shot, there are plenty of collectors out there willing to drop serious cash on a good one. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime find. And you're right, but that's exactly why coin collecting is so exciting. Because every penny, quarter, or nickel could hold the key to a small fortune. So, whether you're diving into your coin jar or checking through your change, don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for that 1987 D penny or any other rare coins you might come across. Before I let you go, here's the deal. If you want more tips on how to spot valuable coins, strategies for coin hunting, or just want to hang out and chat about the cool stuff you can find, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping more insider info on rare coins and how to cash in on them. Who knows? You might just have a millionaire coin hidden in your change jar. So, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Happy hunting, Coin Fam! We're diving into the story of this little copper hero, why it's so valuable, and how you might have one sitting in your jar of spare change right now. So, grab your pennies, put on your detective hats, and let's get rich or at least entertained. Together. Alright, let's get down to business. The 1989 D Lincoln penny might look like your average, run-of-the-mill 1-cent piece, but it's hiding a secret. The D Mint mark tells us it was made in Denver, one of the U.S. Mint's production facilities. Most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But not this one. What makes it so special? It's all about errors, my friends. Coin collectors, or numismatists if you want to sound fancy at parties, go wild for minting mistakes. And this penny has a rare double die error. That means the design was stamped twice, creating subtle but noticeable doubling on parts of the coin. like Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. Think of it as the coin's unique birthmark. Now, here's where things get crazy. Only a handful of these error coins were ever made, and even fewer have been found. The rarity, combined with the error, sends collectors into a bidding frenzy. That's how one of these pennies ended up selling for $9 million at auction. Imagine paying $9 million for something most of us wouldn't bother to pick up off the sidewalk. And let me tell you, this penny's journey to fame is a wild ride. A few years ago, a lucky guy in California found one in an old coffee can full of coins. He almost threw it out, but after a quick glance, he noticed the doubling and decided to get it appraised. Fast forward a few months and he's sitting on a gold mine, or should I say a copper mine. Speaking of relatable stories, let me tell you about my own almost jackpot moment. One time, I was sorting through my coin jar, convinced I'd found a rare penny. I spent hours inspecting it with a magnifying glass, Googling mint marks, and watching auction videos. Turns out, I'd just been staring at a piece of lint stuck to the coin. Not my proudest moment, but hey, the dream was alive for a little while. So, how do you know if you've got one of these $9 million beauties? First, check the date. It has to be 1989 with a D mint mark. Then, look closely for signs of doubling, on Lincoln's profile, the lettering, or the date itself. If you think you've got something, don't toss it in the vending machine just yet. Get it appraised by a professional. And hey, even if you don't strike it rich, coin hunting is an awesome way to learn history, sharpen your detective skills, and maybe even fund your next coffee run. Now, here's your mission. Grab that jar of spare change, inspect every penny like your life depends on it, and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and wild stories about coins that could turn your pocket change into life-changing cash. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Who knows? The next $9 million penny might be hiding in your couch cushions. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1992 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's breaking the bank and sending collectors into a frenzy. So grab your piggy bank, a magnifying glass, and maybe even some popcorn, because you're about to find out why this coin could make you richer than you ever imagined. First, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. The 1992 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is no ordinary coin. It's an accidental masterpiece. You see, in 1992, the U.S. Mint produced two versions of the penny, one with the regular close AM design on the reverse, and a much rarer wide AM design. That wide AM was only supposed to appear on proof coins, but a few accidentally ended up in circulation. And when I say a few, I mean these things are rarer than a parking spot at the mall on Black Friday. Now, what's the difference between the close AM and the wide AM? It's all in the tiny gap between the A and the M in America on the back of the coin. On the wide AM, there's a noticeable space between the letters. But here's the kicker. Most people wouldn't even notice this unless they knew what to look for. That's why so many of these coins slipped through unnoticed. Until now. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old jar of pennies. You know the one? It's the jar where loose change goes to retire. I came across a 1992 penny, and for a split second, I thought, could it be? I grabbed my phone, Googled what to look for, and squinted at that America like it held the secrets of the universe. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one. But hey, it was a thrilling 5 minutes of imagining my early retirement. Speaking of retirement, let's get to the juicy part. How much is this coin actually worth? In the current market, a pristine, mint-condition 1992 wide AM penny is valued at, drumroll, please, $2 million. That's right, folks. This little copper wonder is worth more than a mansion, a Ferrari, and a year's supply of avocado toast combined. Even less than perfect ones can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. So it's definitely worth checking those pennies you've been ignoring. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I've hit the jackpot? Great question. First, look for the 1992 date on the front of the coin and make sure there's no mint mark under the date. Then, flip it over and inspect the word America. If there's a noticeable gap between the A and the M, congratulations, you might be holding a treasure. But don't just stop there. If you think you've found one, Get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally sell $1 million penny for, well, a penny. Alright, friends, here's your homework. Dig through those couch cushions, raid your old coin jars, and check every 1992 penny you can find. Who knows? You might just stumble across a fortune hiding in plain sight. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich, or at least help you fund your next coffee run. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Who knew spare change could be life-changing? We're talking about the 1993 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's got collectors losing their minds. Hey, I'm BCoinold, your friendly neighborhood coin enthusiast, here to make sense of the madness when it comes to coins worth money. So, grab your change jar, sit back, and let's dive into this jaw-dropping coin story. Oh, and stick around, because by the end, you'll be itching to hunt for treasure in your pocket change. Alright, let's get into it. First things first, what's the big deal about the 1993 D Lincoln penny? Well, this particular penny is known for its rarity. Not every 1993 D penny is worth millions, but there's a specific version, a mint error, if you will, that has collectors drooling. So what's so special about this error? In some cases, these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, a thin blank coin disc, made from a different metal. This gives the coin an unusual appearance and weight. Combine that with the fact that only a few of these errors slipped past quality control, and you've got yourself one heck of a rare penny. Now, here's the kicker. A pristine version of this penny recently sold for $3 million at an auction. $3 million for a penny. Let that sink in. I don't know about you, but the next time I see a penny on the sidewalk, I'm picking it up like I just found gold. Quick story. Last year, I was helping my grandma clean out her kitchen drawer, you know, the one where all the old receipts, rubber bands, and loose change live. We came across a pile of pennies. I jokingly told her, "What if one of these is worth a fortune?" Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, that drawer now looks spotless, and my grandma thinks I'm a coin genius. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a humble penny. So, how can you tell if your 1993 D penny is the jackpot? First, check the mint mark. On the obverse or front of the coin, you'll see a tiny D under the year. That stands for the Denver Mint. Then inspect the penny carefully. Look for unusual colors, odd weights, or any signs it could have been struck on the wrong planchet. Pro tip: a coin scale is your best friend here. But before you start counting your millions, let me be real with you. It's not every day someone stumbles upon $1 million penny. However, plenty of coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars are sitting in circulation right now. That's why it's worth giving your change a second look. So what do you think? Are you ready to go on a penny treasure hunt? If you've got a 1993 D penny lying around, take a closer look. Who knows, you might just strike it rich. And hey, if this video sparked your curiosity or gave you a laugh, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips on coins worth money, insider strategies, and fun stories you won't want to miss. Plus, subscribing is free, unlike that $3 million penny. Alright, folks, happy hunting, and may your pockets be full of rare treasures. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 2013 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, and how you might have one hiding in plain sight. And stick around till the end because I'll share a little personal story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Alright, let's get into it, because that jar of pennies on your shelf might be the retirement plan you didn't know you had. Okay, let's talk about the star of the show, the 2013 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. It's got Honest Abe chillin' on the front, the classic Union shield on the back, and that coppery glow we all know. But what sets this little coin apart is what it doesn't have: a mint mark. Now, normally, a mint mark tells you where a coin was made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in this case, there's no mint mark at all, which makes it incredibly rare. How rare, you ask? Like finding a pineapple on Mars, rare. And here's the kicker: it wasn't supposed to be released without a mint mark. This was likely an accidental error, and collectors love a good mistake. It's like the coin version of a blooper reel. And because of this little oopsie, one of these pennies recently sold for, drumroll please, $3 million at an auction. That's enough to buy a mansion, a fancy sports car, and still have cash left over to fill a swimming pool with pennies. But it's just a penny. Why would anyone pay millions for it? Well, coin collectors are a passionate bunch. They love rare finds, and they're willing to pay top dollar penny for unique coins that tell a story. Now, here's how you can spot this treasure. First, grab any 2013 pennies you've got lying around. Check the front side, just below the date. If you don't see a tiny letter P, D, or S, congratulations, you've got a no-mint mark penny. But before you start planning your luxury vacation, make sure it's in pristine condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. And here's a pro tip. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for scratches or imperfections. Collectors want coins that look like they just rolled off the press. So keep an eye out for that flawless finish. Now, let me tell you a little story about how I almost missed out on a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one filled with random batteries, paper clips, and an embarrassing amount of takeout menus. I found a handful of coins and thought, just loose change. I was this close to dumping them into one of those coin machines at the grocery store. But something told me to take a closer look. Turns out, I had a rare 1972 double-die penny worth a few $100. It wasn't $3 million, but hey, it paid for a nice weekend getaway. So, moral of the story, don't underestimate your pocket change. Your next big find could be hiding in that pile of coins on your nightstand. All right, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's the scoop on the 2013 no-mint mark penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Now it's your turn. Go dig through your change jars, your couch cushions, and even your car's cup holder. You never know where treasure might be hiding. And hey, if you love discovering coins worth big money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories to help you uncover hidden treasures. Let's turn those pennies into paychecks together.